This is your WCIA 3 forecast first, sponsored by Route 66 Solar.
Oh, look at the satellite and radar picture here. Noticing a few little storms trying to creep in down here out of the St. Louis area, parts of Montgomery and Macoupin counties. May see some activity here, but a lot of us were dry. It's just hot. It's just humid. Those temperatures are about to get even worse in the coming days. We're sitting in the mid-80s. These temperatures are actually pretty normal for this time of the year. It's this number that makes you go, oh man, 100 degrees. That's the heat index when you factor in the humidity with it. 100 also down in Effingham. We're all getting to that level tomorrow. Heat advisory in effect. Tonight, it is going to remain very mild. These temperatures in the 70s, but we're going to feel more like the 80s pretty much the entire night. Okay, 110 is in the forecast. We'll show you when to expect that coming up as WCIA 3 News starts right now.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
We didn't really understand what was going on at the time.
Witnesses say it was the most police they've ever seen after the search for a Kansas toddler ended right in front of them. Good evening. I'm Brandon Morano.
And I'm Kelly Finley in for Jennifer this evening. Police say the 2-year-old was missing from Topeka since Friday and was believed to be in danger. An Amber Alert then went out this morning. The little boy was found safe some 400 miles away in Mattoon. WCIA 3's Gabriela Morando is live in Mattoon and picks up the story from there. Gabriela, what more can you tell us at this hour?
Well, Mattoon police got the heads up that the suspect in this abduction, 42-year-old Christopher Barnshaw, may be in the city from Kansas authorities. Now, just 7 minutes later from when they were notified about that, a Mattoon officer watched as Barnshaw's car drove past him, and the suspect was taken into custody shortly after. Now, Barnshaw is also the suspect of a Kansas double murder that police discovered this morning. Topeka police were called to where the toddler was reportedly went missing last week and found a man and woman dead. Now, knowing all of this, witnesses to Barnshaw's arrest say it's all the more shocking. No, they saw him for themselves.
It was pretty memorable. It was a little jarring to walk by 1 minute and then walk by again and there'd be like a full street of cops, and we're like in the middle of two towns here, so we don't get a lot of traffic on our road unless they're coming to see us, so that was a little wild.
Barnshaw has been charged with aggravated kidnapping. It's still unclear if and how the boy is related to him or the two people found dead back in Kansas. Now, Barnshaw was taken to the Coles County Jail, but we're unsure whether if he remains there or not. Last we heard from Mattoon police, they were assisting Topeka police who made their way to the city around 3:30 this afternoon. I'll have more on this tonight at 10, but for now, reporting in Mattoon, Gabriela Morando, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Gabriela, thank you so much. Also in Mattoon, police say a man has been arrested for threatening to kill officers. He's a former candidate for city commissioner. On Sunday, officers received a call from 29-year-old Noah Olson about a water leak in his apartment. Authorities say he then hung up on dispatchers but called back 3 times and became more aggressive with each call. They say he went on to threaten a 911 dispatcher and said he was going to, quote, kill everyone in the police department. When they got to the scene, he physically threatened officers. They tried to de-escalate the situation. That's when Olson went inside of his home, and that's where police say he screamed at officers and other people in his building from the window. Authorities got an arrest warrant and then took him into custody yesterday. Today, he was in court and was denied a pretrial release.
Now to a news update. An Urbana teen is being sentenced after a robbery turned into a shooting death 2 years ago. Back in May, we told you Marquise McGuire, one of the 3 suspects, pleaded guilty to the crime. Now a Champaign County judge sentenced him to more than 30 years in connection to the murder of 16-year-old Montrell Emery. WCIA 3's Jared Thomas joins us. Jared, how are family and friends feeling today? You talked with them.
Brandon, I talked with people who knew Emery personally as well as his parents. They tell me things are still not getting much easier for the loved ones. Yesterday, Emery's mother testified giving a victim impact statement. The Champaign County State's attorney says you could see her being strong on the stand, but his mother says it was difficult.
One of the most tragic and troubling cases that I have handled over my 20 years of being the state's attorney.
She's talking about the March 2023 murder of 16-year-old Montrell Emery in Urbana.
This case, yes, this case is I don't have words.
State's Attorney Julia Reed says Emory had a unique golden-colored gun barrel. 3 other teenagers were fascinated with it, but wanted the weapon for themselves. So, Reed says they attempted to rob Emory, which ended up turning into a murder. Something community activist Sean Williams will never forget.
It was just tragic. The sadness that was on just the mother's faces.
On Monday, the judge sentenced 19-year-old Marquise McGuire for shooting Emory in the back of the head from close range. He was the third and final defendant in the case.
If a kid, fetal brain, takes a life, I hope that the people that's supposed to be his influence let him know how strenuous that decision is so he can live with it.
Tony Odom, another community leader, is close with Emory's family. Odom and Williams say the youth gun violence is getting out of control, and Reese agrees.
The issues that we dealt with when it came to juvenile delinquency had more to do with fighting in schools and stealing things and that sort of thing.
She says she doesn't have all the answers, but is hoping these circumstances can change with several resources in the area, like Williams' organization, A Cry For You, that focuses on helping mothers who've dealt with losing a child to gun violence.
Created this group to try to be able to address the trauma that's going on within the household. And the reason why I started this is because to stop retaliatory gun violence. If mom's sad, then the kids are sad.
Reed says if there's one thing teenagers can take away from this story, it's understand life is precious and worth more than a piece of metal.
These young people are throwing away their own lives and ending the lives of others by their actions.
McGuire was sentenced to 32 years behind bars for the first-degree murder. Going back to the anti-violence organization, A Cry For You, includes about 25 mothers from Central Illinois. They meet every Tuesday in Champaign and work through ways that can help them through each day without their child. Reporting in the newsroom, Jared Thomas, WCIA3, your local news leader.
All right, Jared, thank you. There were 2 other defendants in that case as well. Arif Jarrell, who was 14 years old at the time of the crime, was also charged with first-degree murder as an adult. He was sentenced to 20 years behind bars nearly a year ago. The other defendant was also 14 but stayed in juvenile court. He pleaded guilty to unlawful possession of a firearm and has finished his sentence. Hospitals in Illinois are stressing over Medicaid cuts.
Yeah, President Donald Trump signed the One Big Beautiful bill earlier this month, which includes cuts to Medicaid beginning in 2027. That means for Illinois experts, they estimate at least $2 billion in reduced funding over 10 years, which will lead to less staff and less programs. Hospital leaders say this is on top of other budgeting headaches they faced the past few years.
Coming out of COVID, right? The cost pressures were already significant. We have flat reimbursement, and then insurance companies deny claims. When you add $2 to $4 billion in Medicaid cuts to that already challenging situation, it's going to be very difficult for some of our hospitals to keep their doors open.
Several hospitals in Illinois may also cut certain departments like behavioral health care, trauma services, and labor and delivery in order to save costs.
Pike County Health Program has been saved, all thanks to some donors. How much it's getting to stay open.
Plus, your AC will be working overtime with the incoming heat. How some in one central Illinois village are paying a little bit less for their bills.
All right, Kevin, I guess you would call this the, middle ground, the teaser, the...
Appetizer.
Appetizer. There you go.
Appetizer. Some of the heat and humidity today. There you go. We're getting hungry. It's dinner time. Almanac today, 86. Here's the thing. It was actually on par with average in terms of just the temperature. Now, humidity was a lot higher, making it feel a lot more uncomfortable. More of that is in the forecast. We'll talk about storm chances as well coming up.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
It's hot and humid everywhere you look out there. Well, each one of our cameras sees that. But what if our camera saw something like this?
Whoa.
What?
Say it ain't snow.
Say it ain't snow.
Too soon, sir.
So you need to be thinking, you have the answer coming up here. I think I already know what the answer is going to be. Would you rather this or what's to come here in the following days? So this was a picture from last year with some snow. Yep, nothing like that in the forecast. Complete opposite. Yeah, sounds like we've got some warm lovers over here. We'll talk about this heat and humidity though, because it's about to get even worse. 99 Decatur, 97 Springfield, 99 in Lincoln. We're going to triple digits over the next several days. Temperatures tonight down to the low 70s. Melting away is that ice cream cone tomorrow. I'm going to have to eat it quick. 94 is the high. That's just the temperature by itself. But because of the humidity and the dew point number, that's on the rise in the mid 70s. Currently at 75, 77, but tomorrow it's 80. Oh, that is going to be, that's tropical stuff here. And so because of that number being as high as it is, there's heat advisories in effect. That's when we get the registered value of the heat index closer to 105 to 110. That's where we're going to be tomorrow afternoon and also on Thursday afternoon, probably a similar setup there with that 105 to 110 range. So peak heating here the next couple of days. Take it easy if you're going to be out and about. How about rain chances? Well, they're pretty slim. Wednesday, Thursday, we won't see much. Now, could there be that little isolated pop-up, one little guy? Possibly. But the better chances by far are Friday and into the day on Saturday for some showers and thunderstorms. So the next few days, not a whole lot going on. But if you've got some plans here towards the end of the week, here we go. This is Friday night. There's some festivals and things going on across the area, some outdoor events. Just know you may be dodging a few showers and thunderstorms here as we head into the upcoming weekend. I think some of this starts to clear a little bit by Sunday. Maybe we can try to get in a drier day there, but for the most part, I think that we're going to see that rain around for a good chunk of the weekend. Pretty mild out there for tonight. Tomorrow's high is going to be back up to 94 degrees with heat index values of 105 to maybe 110 degrees. You can see your 7-day forecast is going to show those temperatures staying quite warm for us. Thunderstorms back in the picture for Friday and Saturday.
Lots going on. All right.
So, well, hold on here. Officially.
Yes.
So you guys are both much rather have a 110 degree heat index than the snow.
Yes. Try being pregnant in 100
Well,
plus degrees.
not going to do that. But I get what you're saying. Yeah, either way.
Okay, you gotta go.
Moving on, she says.
Our sports team is counting down the days until the Illinois football season start. What Coach B said about the team today at Big Ten Media Days.
And Central Illinois Elementary School is getting a facelift. We got an update on construction. We have a follow-up for you. Last month, we told you Monticello approved an $8 million plan to build Oberheim Park.
The city broke ground July 1st, and now the construction project is in full swing. 3 mounds of dirt take up what soon will be Monticello's Oberheim Park. Kids will be able to play on soccer fields, a football field, along with baseball and softball fields. There'll be a concession stand, press box, and trail connecting the park. A land donation from Allerton Public Library will provide parking access. Monticello city administrators say it's all to honor the legacy of Champaign police officer Chris Oberheim, who was killed in the line of duty 4 years ago.
Officer Oberheim was very involved in his daughter's softball programs and through our recreation programs, coached. So, you know, we felt, talking to the family shortly after the passing of Officer Oberheim, this would be a fitting tribute.
The city says the park should be finished by next summer.
From one construction site to another, Urbana's 6th grade center is almost ready for the upcoming school year. Back in 2023, the school board voted to reopen Wiley Elementary. It was closed for asbestos removal. Construction started last year. When construction started, the crew told us a team of up to 35 people were working overtime. The school district says the center will help better prepare and transition from elementary to middle school. They say there will be a ribbon cutting sometime in August.
Speaking of August, I mean, that means football.
So we got like preseason, postseason, and now what we call talking season, where we just talk a lot, which I guess is good for us. The coaches and players probably hate it, but they talked to the media today in Las Vegas. We'll hear from head coach Brett Bielema on some moments that really made him proud of his team from last fall. That's up next.
From the official television station of Illini Sports, this is WCIA 3 Sports and CEFCU, your Illini Nation.
Illinois head coach Brett Bielema was the first coach to take the stage at Big Ten Media Days today in Las Vegas. We are 1 month and 1 week away from the season opener at Memorial Stadium. As Coach B fields questions from reporters, lots of talk about that 10-win season last fall, and while there were a whole bunch of special memories, Bielema says the tough times, like the loss at Oregon and the following week a loss to Minnesota, is when he learned a lot about his team, their ability to get back up, respond from that, was a sign to him that this program is in a pretty good spot.
Some people give expectations, that's great, but for us at Illinois, we got to earn them. We got to have a chip on our left shoulder and our right shoulder. The way we've earned these expectations will be the way we earn success this year. We'll do it on a daily basis with our teammates and our coaches. And you know, I have a coaching staff that retains my offensive, defensive, special teams coordinator for the last 3 years. I have a starting quarterback for the last 3 years. Those are the things that get me excited.
And Bielema says he would like to see college football playoff expansion, but after Mizzou coach Eli Drinkwitz suggested 30 teams, the Illini head coach says maybe 16 would be a better idea in his mind. Year 5 for Bielema in the orange and blue this fall. After the Big Ten preseason poll came out yesterday, picking Illinois 4th, by the way, the all-conference preseason player selections released this afternoon. 2 Illini on the list. You won't be surprised that guy is one of them. Quarterback Luke Altmaier and outside linebacker Gabe Akis. Altmaier over 2,700 passing yards last fall, 22 touchdowns through the air, 4 on the ground. Akis had 13 tackles for loss, 8 sacks, and 3 forced fumbles. 16 players from the Big Ten made this list. 7 teams were represented. Quickly, another Illini note, then we'll talk pro football. Illini alum Terrence Shannon Jr. received all NBA first-team honors for the Summer League. He was really good in 3 games he played in Vegas, averaging 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. Shannon Jr. gearing up for his second year with the Timberwolves after setting the Illini's single-season scoring record in his final year of college basketball. The Bears are also ramping up for the 2025 season, with players reporting now for training camp. So many question marks, which can be scary or exciting. What progress do we see from Caleb Williams? What can the rookies, Colston Loveland, Luther Burden, what can they do? Biggest question maybe, though, a whole new coaching staff. Ben Johnson has never been a head coach before, so while he tries to develop players, he's going to be developing himself, and he says growing the team together as one group is an emphasis the next several weeks. His plan for year 1 as a head coach, don't be afraid to ask for help.
I've got a very experienced coaching staff by design, from Dennis Allen to Richard Smith to Richard Hightower. We've got a number of guys that have done this at a high level for a long time. And so I'm going to be going to them for advice quite a bit when certain things arise.
The first Bears public practice is this Friday. It'll be here before we know. Are your hopes up for this season, Brandon?
Question marks in the Bears.
Yeah.
What's new? You know what I mean?
I don't get my hopes up too much anymore.
No. Playoffs would be nice.
We would take that for sure.
All right.
You know I'm all things Chiefs. Thank you, sir. The low-income housing tax credit program is expanding how this could increase affordable housing in Illinois.
Plus, there's a new law tackling the issue of squatters. We'll tell you what will change in the eviction process.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6:30.
One central Illinois town has helped people in their community save $2 million on electric rates.
12 years ago, Muhammad voted to adopt an aggregation program helping to save money on electricity. WCIA 3's Katie Moore is with us. And Katie, why is this so important right about now?
Kelly, it's no secret summer is here, and as temperatures continue rising, so does the cost of electricity.
The summer is always a higher bill.
Electricity is more expensive in the summer, but Muhammad's aggregation program helps its members save money all year. Illinois passed legislation for the programs in 2009.
Communities get together as one big pool, and then they go out to bid on electricity supply rates.
Voters in Muhammad passed a referendum for it in 2012. Brown says electricity rates have been extremely volatile the past few years.
We used to have contracts that would be like 2-3 year long contracts for fixed rates, and now we've been more like 6 months to a year type of contract because the volatility in the pricing.
People get 3 weeks to opt out of the aggregation program after getting new rates from the village. Muhammad's aggregated rates rose in June, causing some people to leave and go with Ameren's rate. Problem was, Ameren raised its rate higher than what they were paying in the program.
And, we usually get a lot of residents call in and say, how can they get back in?
I opted out just briefly before it began because we didn't have a lot of notice. And so because I didn't know what Ameren was going to do, I wanted to wait and see. And I regret doing that. I should have just stayed in the aggregation.
Brown says for the most part, rates aren't all that different.
The closest thing I can compare it to is when people give you advice on the stock market. You invest and you have ups and downs, but you stay in it for the long haul.
From the end of 2024 to now, the aggregated price per kilowatt jumped 2 cents while the market price increased by 4. The difference may seem small, but local businesses feel it.
Since I had opted out of the aggregation at first because I didn't know what the price would be. And so I'm a month behind. And so I've gotten to experience the increase, and I'm very excited to get back on the aggregation as soon as possible.
There is some good news. Brown says he expects rates to fall toward the end of summer, whether you're part of an aggregation program or not. Kelly, back to you.
Katie, thank you so much. Tens of thousands of affordable housing opportunities could be heading to the state. The Big Beautiful Bill expands a federal tax credit developers use to offset construction costs by 12%. An accounting firm says the increase, combined with lower financing requirements, could allow nearly 35,000 new units. The Illinois Housing Development Authority awards the credits, and then they went to 16 developers this year. Since the project costs less, investors can then cut rent. A report earlier this year found Illinois is nearly $300,000 short in the affordable rentals needed for the population.
Now to a follow-up on a new law in Illinois. We told you yesterday Governor J.B. Pritzker signed a law allowing law enforcement to remove squatters for trespassing. Currently, property owners need to settle the matter in eviction court, which can take months and hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars in legal fees. Advocates for the bill say it should simplify the process once it goes into effect in January.
We feel like that this is a good public policy response, and hopefully will go a long way towards eliminating or at least reducing these experiences that homeowners and others sometimes have of people breaking into their property and changing the locks and taking over the property.
We also talked to the president of Illinois Rental Property Owners Association, who said this is a good first step, but worries law enforcement needs stronger support to remove squatters. Program at the Piatt County Mental Health Center has been saved by a donor after its funding was cut by the state.
A Piatt County couple heard about the cut and says that they knew it was time to reach out and help in a big way. WCIA's Peter Hansen talked to the donors. Peter, how much did they donate and why?
Kelly, the couple donated $100,000 to keep the recovery-oriented system of care afloat for the next year. For them, the issue of addiction hits close to home.
We have lost a grandson to overdose.
That's one of the reasons Jan Gantz and Stephen Lyons saved the substance abuse recovery program in Piatt County's Mental Health Center.
And his siblings, Harper, And Sage and Finn, I just want to say that this is, in a way, a memorial to your brother.
Their $100,000 donation provides counseling and social events for people working towards recovery. The program was ready to permanently close.
At that moment, we were literally deconstructing the program. We were discarding of old stuff, and our employee was actually interviewing for other jobs and other providers.
The donation means the mental health center will be able to continue providing services like these naloxone boxes, which Tony Kirkman says have helped save lives.
I believe because of that, we have had 0 opioid fatalities within the last year.
That service was almost taken away from the county when the center's application for state funding was denied.
We just couldn't believe that something that was so important to people's well-being was being declined.
And thanks to Gantz and her husband, those people's well-being will be well taken care of, at least for the next year.
It's going to require all of us to come together and try to support people who have gained from those programs. We just can't let all of that go.
Gantz says she hopes she and her husband can set an example for others to follow. They also tell me they plan on continuing to donate and volunteering where they're needed. Kelly.
Thank you, Peter.
The Effingham County Fair making some safety improvements, what you can expect to change.
Plus, a Central Illinois business pledged to support Texas communities after their flooding. How much has been raised?
The news continues here on WCIA 3, your local news leader.
In Effingham County, fair organizers are prepping for a week of fun.
But it's not without a few safety precautions. With summertime extreme heat, the fair's vice president says they'll have fans running and medical professionals available in case of emergency. Air-conditioned buildings will be open as well, but they've also made safety improvements near the grandstands. 2 years ago, a 5-year-old girl was hit by a car-mounted starting gate during a harness racing event. She later died, and officials want to make sure that never happens again.
Instead of closing at the start line, we have it close the gate earlier, so when it goes by the grandstand, it is totally closed. And so then there's no issue of being able to have incidents with the gate.
The Effingham County Fair runs July 26th through August 2nd.
A drive-in theater is holding a special event this weekend. Who they are honoring.
Plus, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty back to tell us all about this week's heat.
Now, Central Illinois' most accurate forecast with meteorologist Kevin Lighty.
A muggy evening out in the weather garden tonight, that is for sure. Temperatures are actually on par for what is typical for this 22nd of July. I mean, 85, 86 degrees, that's about average. That's where we're at. The difference is the humidity that is up, and that's what's making it feel a little bit abnormal. With 100-degree heat index values down in Effingham right now, we're all going to be on that triple-digit area as we head into the next couple of days. Tonight's temperatures going to be holding into the 70s all night long, but it's more about that humidity that you're going to feel when you go out. There is a little bit of a breeze. You can see some of the leaves and branches here blowing around a little bit behind me, so at least a little bit of circulation to that air that is in place. All right, a little ice cream for you tomorrow. Well, it's going to melt pretty quick, okay? So if you're going to grab something, you either might want to eat it inside, or if you're out, you're going to have to eat it fast, because we're talking 94 for the high. It's going to melt away pretty quick at that level. And with the humidity on the rise, we can notice that by watching our dew point number, which we have talked about almost every day for the past 6 weeks or so. That dew point sits in the mid-70s, but it's going to go up even higher the next couple of days. We might reach that 80-degree mark tomorrow. That is kind of that peak of that humidity, and the same thing potentially into the day on Thursday, it looks like. So, no surprise, we've got a heat advisory in effect for the entire area here as we head into the next couple of days. As we get those levels between 100 and 110, pretty widespread on Wednesday and Thursday. And so this is where you really start to have some issues if you're outside for a long period of time, especially in the direct sun. If you're exerting a lot of effort outside, just be careful, because you're going to lose a lot of that, through sweating and whatnot, a lot of that moisture and hydration. So keep drinking those waters out there to stay nice and cool the best that you can. Speaking of water, more of that in the forecast, but not till the end of the week. So the next couple of days, I don't foresee a whole lot of rain Wednesday and Thursday, but by Friday and Saturday, showers and thunderstorms coming back into the picture here for the end of the week. Actually, a pretty good chance of rain, it looks like, later Friday night into Saturday. Maybe some lingering showers through the day on Sunday, but I would just plan on having some rain around, which by that point, some of you may be going, bring it on. Bring some rain in to help cool us back down. 71 for tonight. It is a warm and humid night for sure. 94 with the temperature. And again, that's one of the warmer readings we've had so far this entire year. And we're going to be up there with the combined humidity to make it feel like 105 to 110. With the heat advisory in effect, there's the rest of your 7-day. And yes, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, rain chances are there. I think Sunday has the least chance for rain. And then we start out next week on another warm note with highs back into the 90s. So pretty warm out here. Again, very fortunate that the weather garden is blocked, or I should say the building blocks the sun coming into the weather garden. We're actually in shade out here, so that's some good news for us.
Still wear your sunscreen.
Also kind of blocks the wind though, Kevin.
Does block a little bit of the wind too, but as we know, if you recall, earlier this year, our fences were blown out by winds from a storm. You remember that, Brandon?
Yeah, you want to tell them what I did? You were very proud of me for?
Wait, I don't remember what you do.
I fixed it.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't remember that.
That was a gentle nudge.
All right, that was just a little.
I just threw
That was
it
an attaboy,
right over the head.
Brandon.
Good job.
All right, thanks, buddy. A Buckley business pitched in to help Texas communities. How much they raised.
Plus, the Harvest Moon Drive-In is hosting a celebration of life. Why this person was so special to the theater.
This is WCIA 3 News, your local news leader.
We have a news update for you. A national fundraiser for Texas flood relief has raised more than $400,000.
Last week, we told you about Ardell Goading of Buckley, who was helping with Thrivent's national fundraiser. This morning, a financial associate gave us an update. They are matching $1 for every 2 raised, up to $500,000. The fundraiser is open until September the 7th.
Gibson City's Harvest Moon Drive-In Theater is hosting a celebration of life for the owner's wife this Sunday. He says Nora Harwin had heart surgery this year and died earlier this month from complications. The drive-in will play a video montage, radio eulogy, and screen Pride and Prejudice, her favorite movie, to honor her life. There's no cost to attend, but donations are accepted. For more information, just head to our website, WCIA.com. We're going to have a look at what's making headlines in Central Illinois next.
Including a child at the center of an Amber Alert found today. How authorities from Kansas to Illinois work to bring him to safety.
This is WCIA 3 News, your local news leader.
Time to take a look at the top local stories of the day. Police say a child who was kidnapped in Topeka, Kansas, has been found safe today in Mattoon. Officers were told about a suspect in a double murder in Kansas. Authorities say 42-year-old Christopher Barnshaw took the child of one of the victims last week. An Amber Alert was issued earlier today. Mattoon police saw the car during a traffic stop on Route 16. An officer stopped the vehicle and the child was found safe in the back seat.
Also in Mattoon, a former city commissioner candidate is accused of threatening police. Officers say on Sunday, a 29-year-old Noah Olson called 3 times about a water leak in his apartment, getting more and more aggressive. They say he threatened to kill everyone in the police department on the phone and physically threatened officers on the scene. He was later taken into custody. He was in court today and denied pretrial release.
Coming up, we're going to let you know what we're working on for our 10 o'clock newscast.
Plus, one final check of your 7-day forecast with Kevin.
She jumped into action when her dad collapsed.
Tonight, how a Central Illinois 9-year-old is being honored as a hero, and she still has her dad around to give a big hug to. That's coming up tonight at 10.
Next few days will be the peak of our heat and humidity. High temperatures in the mid-90s that feel like 110 in some spots.
Wow.
Yes.
Always right. All right, thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here at 10. Have a good night.